So you guys, look, I went to JoAnn's and I scored some 70% off fabric, as well as pick up 8 patterns in store. And then I picked up 8 patterns on simplicity.com. So if that's some content you would like to see, guess what? Stick around and please continue to watch. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Rochelle from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the 3 fabrics that I picked up that were on the last chance. I think there was 70% off plus an additional 25% because they were cheap, okay? But I also picked up 8 patterns at JoAnn's and 8 patterns on simplicity.com, making it a total of 16 patterns that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. But if you are new to the channel, welcome. Hello, Ciao, Guten, Aloha, Hola, Konnichiwa, Gwaan, Sabonani, Shalom, Bonjour, If you are returning, you guys know what to do. Quick snacks, something to drink, beverage of choice, and grab your notebook, okay? So without further ado, to keep this short, sweet, give you all the deets and the news that you can use on this video, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna share with you guys the fabric that I chose and what I'm thinking of making with it, and then I'll share the patterns with you. So let's just go ahead and dive right on in. So the first fabric I picked up is this pink, I think it's a Keepsake Calico. My daughter's seen it on the clearance and she liked it, so I picked it up. I'm going to make a nice dress for her to wear to school because school is getting ready to be back in session here in Florida in the next, I think, 2.5, almost 3 weeks. So I'm going to make a dress for her. I'm going to put the pattern up on the screen because I forgot what pattern it was, but it is one from the new Simplicity drop. I think it dropped in the springtime, I want to say. So I'm going to put that up on the screen so you're able to see it. And that's what she wants for this fabric, which is a Keepsake Calico. I'm gonna try to look at my receipt and see if I could name the fabric from the receipt of, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know where I put my receipt at. It's probably on my sewing table. So if I can remember what this is, I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen for you as well. So that's the first fabric that I picked up. The second fabric that I picked up, it is so nice. Now, I know what this one is called. This is what it looks like. It's a black multi-thin open plaid cotton viscose. And it's, I'm going to make a blazer and some pants with it. It is so lovely. Look at this. I love it. Wouldn't that look cute for a blazer and a matching pair of pants? Yes, I think it's going to be so amazing. So that's what I picked up. Now, in terms of the patterns, I don't know. There is a McCall's blazer pattern. I don't know the number, but I'm not going to even embarrass myself with like that on this one, because when I picked it up, I remember seeing the blazer in my head. And it's a structured blazer. And then I'm going to make some, just kind of like some slim fitted pants. Not wide leg whatsoever, but I want to make a 2-piece set with this one, this Visco that I picked up. This was on 70% off clearance with an additional 25% off. So it was like $5.49 a yard. I picked up 4 yards of this fabric. So I'm going to hope that with the blazer and pants, if I can't make the pants, I'll make them shorts. But I know that for most pants, that's just straight legs, I normally need about 2 to 2.5 inches of fabric. Okay. Now this is 43 inches of fabric, so it's not a lot. However, I'm gonna try to either get some pants or some shorts maybe, and a blazer for sure. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do with this one. And the next fabric that I picked up is this cool plaid fabric, okay? So this one I picked up off, of course, the 70% off last chance. I'm telling you guys, when you guys go to JoAnn's, do not skip over that clearance section because they be putting some nice stuff over there. Okay, so this one was there, and this one is just kind of like your regular, I think it was Plaiditude. If I remember from my receipt, it's a Plaiditude fabric that has some browns, some grays, some whites in it. Now with this fabric, I want to make a shacket. So the pattern that I'm planning on using to make it, and this kind of looked like what the guy is wearing on the pattern. I didn't even realize that. But it's Simplicity 9388 is the pattern that I plan on using to make it. Now, I know everyone in a mama, aunties, and grandmamas, they all made this pattern back in, I want to say 2021, 2022, when this pattern came out. This was also a Sew Your View pattern a couple of years ago. I wasn't able to make it during that time because I had so many project upon project upon project. So I plan on going ahead and cutting this out in my next batch cutting. Well, not the one that I just did, but the next one. I plan on cutting this out to make the shacket as well and to make for pre-fall and into fall, because even though it doesn't get really, really cold here, I want one because I tend to get cold in my meetings in the office, okay? But that's Simplicity 9388. So that's all the fabrics that I picked up at JoAnn's over the weekend during the sale. And now I'm gonna show you the patterns that I picked up in JoAnn's before I show you the simplicity.com pattern. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so for this, so for some of these, I picked up some accessory patterns, which I will share that with you before, but let's just dive right on in. The first pattern that I picked up, I couldn't remember if I already had this pattern or if I shared this pattern with you guys in one of my collection video and I didn't have it. Now, I have a lot of patterns that I moved over to my storage unit. I didn't feel like going to the storage unit before going to JoAnn's to see if I have it, but I want a tote bag that I'm going to create to go with something that I'm making. So I picked up Simplicity 8310. If you have made this pattern, please let me know your experience. And the reason why I picked it up is because my daughter is in the marching band this year, and I feel like this would be great for her to throw in extra athleisure clothes, personal items, of course, you know. So I feel like View E is small enough for her to take around with her during marching band. And it's not going to be big enough for her to carry around like it's a backpack or a tote for her to put books or anything in, but enough for her to put her personal items and stuff like that that she's going to need for marching band. Y'all know this whole fall is going to be a marching band adventure. She just went into 9th grade. She'll be starting 9th grade, so I'm going to pray over her that her 4 years is going to go by really fast, all right? But this is 8310 is the first pattern that I picked up. Next pattern that I picked up is 9937, this one right here, which is a tote bag. All of these are not tote bags, so don't get that. So I picked it up for what the model is wearing with the bucket hat or the sun hat, but that's not the only thing I picked it up for. I picked it up for these little, you could put fingernail polish, lip gloss, lipstick, cosmetics right here in this bag. So this is your JIK. I'm also going to put up all the pattern pieces on the screen so you're able to see that as well for each pattern. But I like this. Now, if you do View B, you're going to just need some cardboard. All right. And then if you do the View C through View K, you're going to need a zipper. So if you do View A and B, you're not going to need any notions in terms of like your zippers or anything like that. Now, you're only going to need some cardboard, and of course, you're going to need like some heavy sew-in interfacing. That's about it. But this is 9937. Get into that pattern. Next pattern I picked up is 9936, and I picked this up to have a sling bag or hobo bag across the shoulders when I go to resorts and when I, you know, go out of town or whatever. It's just easier than having a purse on all the time. or, you know, like a crossbody bag. I picked that up for that. But I also like the backpack that the model is wearing right here in view A. So that's why I picked it up. I like view A and view D for this pattern. In terms of what you're going to need, some lightweight cotton, twill, linen, just to name a few of the fabrics you could use. But yeah, I like it. You're going to need, of course, you're going to need some notions for this one as well, but it is an easy to sew and it's $99.36. Let's move over to the next one. Now, the next one I picked up is $99.35, and this one is like a pickleball style. Now, I didn't pick it up for the pickleball at all. I just picked it up to have a nice travel bag, okay? Like, listen, I'm gonna tell you guys, when you guys look at these patterns, look at what else you could do with the pattern, okay? Hack it, okay? Because this is the last week of the pattern hackathon, and y'all can hack these damn patterns, all right? But I picked it up for the tote, view C, on this one right here. And I want to use it as a weekender bag because you guys know frock tails be coming up. You know, frock tails, Baltimore frock tails is coming up, by the way. Riley frock tails is coming up, by the way. And this would be a good way for you to create a bag, throw your clothes in there, you know what I'm saying? And you didn't have to go buy one. Make one instead of buy one. Y'all know I have a whole complete video on how I made a duffel bag during Vlogmas last year. And when I say I take that bag everywhere I go, every time I go out of town, or it's with me, okay? So I'm going to put that up on the screen so you're able to see it. I'm going to also put the sew along in the description box below as well as on the end screen so you guys know that that is a good pattern to do. But this is $99.35. Moving over to the next pattern. It's $99.30, easy to sew, and you guys know why I picked it up. It's a blazer and a pair of pants for the entire family. We do have a couple of events for next year in 2025. Now, I'm not saying like we're gonna wear the same colors or anything like that. We might, but you know, I have a blazer for my son, my daughter. My daughter, she's into blazers now, but some shorts as well. I think for me, it's all about those shorts, all right? But this is $99.30. Moving over to the next pattern, it's $99.28. It's an easy to sew pattern, and I picked this up to make as loungewear. I have some fabric in my stash that I want to use for it, so that's why I picked it up. So I'm very interested in the pants and the shorts for sure. The top is not giving sexy whatsoever, but we could hack it and make it do what it do. But I'm interested in view A. So we could always turn these not so great patterns into treasures, okay? So $99.28 it is, all right? Moving over to the next pattern. So I picked up 2 sizes for this pattern, one for me, one for my daughter, and one for my sister. But it's $99.24. So I picked up, I'm holding up the smaller side, 6 through 14, but I also picked up the larger side, 16 to 24 as well. So I picked up the smaller side because while I was going through JoAnn's with my child, my daughter, she was just like, oh, I like that. Could you make me one? And first, you know, like she's a baby girl, so I get it. But she likes this pattern. It's $99.24 is the pattern, and she's very interested in view B. I told you, the girl loves anything relaxed, anything with cargo pockets, okay? So anything I make her, it has to have some form of some cargo pockets, all right? But this is $99.24. And the last pattern that I picked up from JoAnn's in-store before we get over to the simplicity.com pattern is $99.21. Now, I remember I know someone, I can't remember who it was looking for a pattern that's a top with a bow on it. I gave this as a recommendation because I just dropped the video for that Simplicity. I think this was Simplicity spring patterns, I believe, or early spring patterns. And I remember that I said something about this pattern and I gave a recommendation for this pattern. And I was just like, I didn't even pick it up during the drop. Okay. So I went ahead and picked it up now, $2.99, of course. And this pattern is $99.21. So those are all the patterns that I picked up from JoAnn. So let's go ahead and move over to the patterns that I picked up at simplicity.com. All right, so you guys know that on simplicity.com, they just released the fall patterns. And of course, you know, your girl was gonna take advantage of it. So I picked these patterns up in PDF only because I want to make that button down shirt, which is the first pattern I'm going to be sharing with you guys, which is 3002. Now this button down shirt is 9 pattern pieces, no matter which view you do. Now for me, I think I'm going to do, it doesn't even really matter to be honest with you. I'll probably do view A to be honest, but I love button down shirts. I need to put more button down shirts in my wardrobe in both solids as well as prints. So that's why I went ahead and picked up this pattern. But once again, it's 3002. I'm also going to put any patterns that's no notions up on the screen, the pattern pieces up on the screen as well. Let's move over to the next pattern. The next pattern is 3006. And of course, you guys know it's a pair of pants. If you missed my video of the drops of the Simplicity Fall pattern, I'll put it up here. It's also in the description box below, as well as on the end screen. You could go and see how I felt about majority of the patterns as well. Also, which patterns compares with another pattern. All right, but this is 3006 and view A is 11 pattern pieces. View B is 9 pattern pieces. Now, what I'm looking at doing for this pattern is probably view A. For this pattern as well. I need more pants. When I say I need more pants, I don't need more pant patterns to be honest, but I like this one, so I went ahead and picked it up. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. So the next pattern is 3007. And you guys know that this is a coat pattern. It's like a puffer coat. So I know you're probably saying like, Rochelle, you really don't need it because you stay in Florida. It really doesn't get that coat. You're absolutely right. But if I was ever to move out of Florida, which I don't have any plans on doing so, right? I have, you know, a coat to wear. Also, when you go to another city for frocktails and stuff like that, you might need a coat. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just saying. But I went ahead and picked that up. So in terms of the pattern pieces, view A is 11 pattern pieces, whereas view B is 9 pattern pieces as well. But once again, it's 3007. Next pattern is 3008. And you guys know this is another coat. All right, so for this coat, I like the shorter view, of course. And one thing I like is you can wear it open. You can put a snap, you can put a button, you can do all those things, right? But this is just kind of like your basic coat that you could throw over a basic dress, okay? So you can elevate your basics, okay? So you guys remember when I did a video about everyday wardrobe to take you all year. I think it was called like all year round basic everyday wardrobe. I'm going to put it up on the screen right here, but I'll also link to that video in the description box below, as well as on the end screen. So you're able to see that video because listen, if you have the basic, you could just add to your basic wardrobe, okay? I also did a video on how you can do a 6-day wardrobe for any summer, fall, any season, really. I'll also put that video up here, also linked in the description box below. All right, but you can definitely do this coat. Let's move over to the next pattern, which is 3009. And 3009 is a coat for sure. Now, in terms of view A, it's 11 pieces. View B is also 11 pieces. And then view C is 4 pieces for that as well. Now, view C is a bag. I like this bag, to be 100% honest. And I was like, 4 pattern pieces? That's it? But then it's a bag, so I guess so. But I like this one. If I make any of these coats, I will make it in a fleece to make it lightweight and just add some pretty print chemise or satin fabric to line it on the inside. But other than that, it's 3009. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. So the next pattern, you guys know, it's Mimi G's pattern. Before you guys come for me and be like, you talked about Mimi G pattern in your drop. Actually, I did not. I actually told you I was going to pick it up, and I did because, listen, we get it to the point where a lot of these patterns are repeat. But the reason why I picked it up, and I'm not going to lie to you, is because I own every last Mimi G pattern. So I'm going to follow through. So I picked up both 3010 and 3011. 3010, yes, I could have used tons of different patterns to do it. However, yes, I did pay $4.99. I also picked it up in PDF, and I could actually do it many times because you got to remember, I have a daughter now who's now in the adult pattern. So instead of picking up in 2 different sides, I could trace her pattern out and call it a day. All right. But once again, it's 3010. And then I also picked up 3011, which was the knit jumpsuit by Mimi G. You guys know I'm not a fan of knit, but like I said, I own all the Mimi G patterns, so why not? All right. And the last pattern that I picked up is 3025. All right. So let me go back one. 3010, the pattern for the pattern pieces, view A is 8 pattern pieces, view B is 4 pattern pieces, and then view C is 2 pattern pieces for that tank top. All right. In terms of 3011, which is the jumpsuit, it's 14 pattern pieces. Yes, my daughter wrote the notes down for me, so thank my baby girl always for helping her mama out. So let's go ahead and get into 3025, the last pattern that I picked up from simplicity.com. And 3025, this is a accessory pattern, of course, and it's basically your microwave koozies. All right. So each view is only 1 pattern piece. Okay. It's 1 pattern piece for each view. Now, what I'm going to say about this one is definitely, you guys know your kids who will go to your table and leave tons of freaking rings around your table. I get tired of that. So I'm going to make some to put on my table for sure, along with the table runner that I have on my table as well. But those are all the patterns that I picked up for both JoAnn and simplicity.com. Let me know which ones you would consider picking up in the comment section below. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. And if this video was educational, inspiring, and fun, please do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, also smash that notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. So I'll catch you in the next video, and as always, Keepsake.